What in the fuck did we just watch? Like, it's this mix of happiness, stupor, befuddlement, bewilderment. I'm running through all the range of emotions right now after what the hell we just watched transpire in Cincinnati on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Oh my God. When you get Bengals football taking on Bears football, I guess chaos is going to ensue, isn't it? Like, what do you take away from this game? Oh my God. The ultimate, like, fucking mixed bag. Just wild. And for those like myself who thought a few weeks ago Broncos Giants that last 6-7 minutes of the fourth quarter in that game was like alcohol poisoning levels of drunk, the fourth quarter of this Bears Bengals game was truly alcohol poisoning levels of drunk. Holy shit, there's so much to talk about here. So much. And it's like for every good thing you could point to, there's at least one, two, or three bad things when you talk about the Bears. Like, special teams were god-awful today. More on that in a moment. But you start off, first play of the game, and you're letting Charlie fucking Jones house call 198 yards for a touchdown. See, only the second kick return touchdown in the entire goddamn league this year. Out of what, hundreds of attempts? You've had one other TD on a kickoff return until today. Of course the Bears are going to fucking give it up. Holy shit. And it was at that moment I said, oh my God, what's going to happen? And I know deep down I'm not the only one that thought that. But to the Bears' credit and to the offense's credit, they came back and they responded on offense, immediately driving down the field. Touchdown, that awesome play that they drew up, almost like a bit of a Philly special, if you will, but, DJ Moore with the touchdown pass to Caleb Williams. And you're like, okay, shit happens sometimes. I'll grant you that. But at least the Bears responded, and that's what a good team needs to do. They respond. So you have that. But everything about this game is just wild. Like, we finally got to see a full dose of Kyle Manong. And boy, if you weren't impressed today, I don't know why. He is everything myself and others have been talking about for a while now. He's clearly the best running back, the best feature back on this Bears roster, and it's not particularly close. He finished today with 26 carries, 176 yards. That's a 6.8 average per carry. Now, a lot of you are going to wisely point out that the Bengals' run defense is absolute dog shit and their entire defense is absolute dog shit. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. I agree. But you would have seen DeAndre Swift maybe put up 90 or 100 yards here. And everybody deep down that knows ball knows that's true. Manong just has more burst to him. He has more make you miss ability, more broke tackle ability, like runs with better vision. He's more decisive. He's more physical. I could go on and on and on and on. Like, this is the type of performance he needed to make today to say he has to be a big part of this Bears offensive attack and their running game plans going forward. And frankly, I don't know what the fuck Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, the rest of the offensive coaching staff are fucking waiting for. It's so fucking obvious that Manong is superior to DeAndre Swift. Stop kidding your fucking selves. Today showed that. Today absolutely showed that. So impressive performance for him. Knew it was going to be a big day for him, but even then, I'm like, maybe he'll get like 110, 120 yards. He went for 176. The only slight letdown is that he didn't get a touchdown out of it, but there were plenty of other touchdowns scored in this fucking game, God. But, like there's so many things you could sit there and say, well, DJ Moore had a better game today. He certainly did. But isn't it why? Here's such a bungle state. You're in the fourth quarter, and you're going to challenge it because you think DJ Moore has fumbled it across the goal line and out of bounds, which would result in a touchback. So instead of the original play standing where he's at the he's down at the one or out at the 1 yard line, he fucking it's ruled a touchdown, and he challenged to have that happen. John Fox is happy to hear that. No wonder Bengals fans fucking hate tapioca brain Zach Taylor. Oh my god. But DJ Moore had a better performance today, certainly, right? TD pass, TD run, like 4 catches, 72 yards. You're like, okay, this is what we wanted. But then you look at other things and you say, okay, running game was fantastic. DJ Moore was better today. But where the fuck was Odunze? Caleb Williams had 2 more receptions and 22 more receiving yards than your number 1 wide receiver. That's a fucking problem. That's a lack of targets. That's a lack of finding opportunities to get him open. But even when he fucking does, Rome dropped multiple passes today. Like early on in the game, he dropped one that he should have held on to. And then later on, you could hear the commentators, and they're right, like Caleb again, inaccurate, ball's not in the right spot. I grant you, but you're the top 10 pick. Like, you got to catch that fucking ball, and Rome continues to not catch these fucking balls. The fuck is wrong with him? So you want to sit there and get happy, but then you see this bullshit, and it becomes a theme and a pattern and a trend. And then you talk about Caleb Williams. If you were just box score watching, you'd be like, oh man, what a day for him. 280 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He ran for 53 yards. He had 2 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown. Like, how could you criticize that? And that's the problem with watching the box score. Way too indecisive at too many times, too inaccurate, like balls off the mark, like, fuck. Early on in the season, it felt like he's a little bit better. He was a little bit better than what he is right now. He's starting to look like fucking Justin Fields to some extent. And if you think about it, it's true because he's not processing. He's not being decisive. He's just slow right now in everything he's doing, and it's not good. And then he's inaccurate on fucking top of it. But this Bears defense, my God. My God. Who was worse today? The Bears defense or the Bears special team? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll wait. Can make arguments either way. Because, excuse the fuck out of me, 40-plus-year-old washed-up graybeard Joe Flacco with an AC joint injury in his shoulder, who had probably had to get a shot up and do whatever God else, lit up this Bears defense for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns today. The Bears actually made the Bengals kind of one-dimensional offensively, because Chase Brown had 11 carries, but he averaged just barely over 3 yards a touch. So that wasn't impressive, but it's like, you know T. Higgins is a stud, and you know Jamar Chase is a super stud. How do you let them both go for over 100 yards receiving on you? And frankly, Jamar Chase's 111 yards receiving was really quiet, but T. Higgins, multiple touchdowns. I'm not surprised. I knew T. Higgins would have a big day because who the fuck was going to defend him if you're going to shadow Tyreek Stevenson on Jamar Chase? You knew both of these guys were going to get theirs, right? But like, god damn. Like, you let Andre Iosivas, 5 catches, 66 yards and a touchdown. You're up double digits. You're up 2 scores after you pick up Joe Flacco. I just think about this for a second. You're up fucking I don't even know what to say right now. You're up 41-27. I was trying to look at the time. I'm sorry for the delay. I was trying to look at the time and see how much time there actually was left in this game. And there wasn't shit. It was like under 2 minutes to go. And you let the Bengals score a touchdown and then come right back down and score another touchdown on you. Thank God the Bears offense came through in the clutch. Thank God Caleb Williams actually nutted up, made a big throw down the middle to Colston Loveland. When their backs were against the wall, they had lost all the momentum. You're up 14 points. You had just picked off Joe Flacco. Game should be done. You're winning comfortably. And then, of course, it doesn't fucking happen. But, man, Caleb Williams, Colston Loveland, they bail this fucking team out. And they bail out Richard Hightower in this shitty-ass special teams unit. Santos missed 2 field goals today, although he only get credit for missing 1. He was awful. At least, at the end of the game, He got the kickoff to the deep part of the end zone, my God. But again, why not just kick it out of fucking bounds? That's all I'm saying. Why would you even risk it? You'd already given up a couple of long returns on the fucking day. And then the fucking onside kick. Onside kicks almost never happen successfully anymore. So of course the Bears fucking let it happen. Bears football! I can't believe the Bears got to this point where they could have lost this game, and I'm even more surprised they had the resiliency to come back and win this game. But thank God they did, because if they lost this one today, that would have been a season ender. The season goes on. They're now 5-3, and they needed this one really badly, and they got it done. It wasn't pretty. I mean, in some ways, it was incredibly entertaining and exciting, but in other ways, it was incredibly exasperating and frustrating. It was all of that and so much more. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're going to say about the injuries in the secondary. Yes, there are injuries in the secondary. Other teams have other injuries too. There's absolutely no excuse for this defensive unit to give up 470 yards passing to Joe fucking Flacco. Period. Think about that. 470 yards to a 40-plus-year-old guy with an injured throwing shoulder, Joe Flacco. The fuck are we even talking about here? Like, you even saw it at the end on the Hail Mary. He couldn't even get it halfway to the fucking end zone. And that's the guy you just let throw for 470 yards at you? How does that happen? How do you let both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase light your ass up? Here's an idea. You take 3 defenders. You say, we'll put 2 of them on Jamar Chase and we'll put 1 of them on T. Higgins. And if T. Higgins lights your ass up, fine. But you're not going to let Jamar Chase light your ass up. Or vice versa. You let Jamar Chase get his and you put Tyreek Stevenson on him and you live with that and you double T. Higgins. The Bears, of course, did none of that because Dennis Allen is a fucking dumb dick. Oh my God. The special team sucked. The defense sucked. Caleb Williams wasn't exactly a beacon of hope here. How nice was it to see Colston Loveland, though, go over 100 yards receiving today? You're like, my God, that's why you take a guy 10th overall. Be that type of big-time player, and when it mattered most, he certainly was today. Thank God he was. Holy man. But you had Rome Odunze with 0 catches today on 3 targets and 2 drops. Caleb Williams, indecisive, inaccurate. The defense, injuries my ass that you've invested a ton in. Can't stop the Bengals for shit. Can't stop a geriatric ass Joe Flacco. This goes beyond Bears football. Special teams sucked. Did I mention that? I'm going to mention it fucking again. Bears are fucking dumb lucky that they won this one. Thank God they did. As you imagine sitting there and being up 14 points with like 2 minutes to go and finding a way to lose a fucking game. Well, they almost did today. They were in position for it too. My God. Oh, but bear down! Because at least the Bears won today. So everything I've just said, every criticism is valid and true, but we still feel kind of good about it, I guess. But what a fun Sunday that was, huh? Ugh.